Hi everyone, myself Priya Choudhary, and this is my second video in serviceNow. And in today's video, we will discuss about the GRC module. Okay, so first of all, in the GRC module, what are the plugins we require? So, one plugin GRC policy and compliance in. I'm sharing my screen. Just the first one, the policy and compliance. Okay, integrated. This one we need to install. Okay, now for after this plugin get installed, actually I've already installed it. So now let's discuss some more about the GRC. What is GRC and why require GRC? So GRC in ServiceNow, this is one module. So GRC ensure the correct information is delivered to the correct parties at the right time, and that controls and policies are put in place to address. Okay, so GRC is used to deliver the correct parties, the correct information to the correct parties. Okay, and to deliver these things at the right time, there are some few things in the GRC, it is controls and policies to make GRC able to deliver those things. Okay, we can understand these things through GRC. One example. Okay, so suppose you are starting your workday, right? You log on to your computer with a password. Now today is the day. It's time to reset your password. A task you have to complete every 6 months. Your device prompt you that your password must contains at least one uppercase letter, one lowercase, one number, and one symbol. And it must be 10 or 12 character long or 16 something. Okay. You will also need to use a two-factor authentication application on your mobile device to confirm your new password. Okay. Now your organization didn't used to have this password requirement, but after a security breach in the last month, management decided that this was in the best interest of the company. Okay. Now here the GRC comes into picture. Okay. When security and other things related issue might be possible, in that scenario we need GRC. Okay, to strengthen our security things and to calculate the risk related to those assets and configurational item. Okay, and then compliances, there are lots of policies we can define there, so that everyone must have to follow those policy. Okay, now first of all what we need to create here, the entity type. Okay, make sure you are in the correct scope, application scope, that is GRC risk management. Okay, now what you need to do, uh, okay, so entity type, search in the navigation, entity type. Okay, in the policy and compliances, here is the entity type, right? Open this one. Let me open one to understand what. See here, the name you can mention as per your requirement. Okay, now uh, here the compliance score will be appear based on the entities risk statement, based on these related things, the compliance score will be appear here. Okay, okay. Now functional domain is when you are creating these kind of entity types. So which domain you want to like if you want to make this entity type for a specific domain, then you can select over here, else you can leave so that it will available for all the domain. Okay, now let's just create one entity type for better understanding. Just click on new, mention over here some name I'm giving, test entity type. Okay, now generate framework. These things we require in the different topic, so we will discuss these things later on. Okay, description we can mention over here, test. Field you can select service, process, supply, technology, paper, and as of now you can leave it as it is. Okay, functional domain we don't want to be specific for any domain, so leave it, just save it. Now see, complaint score is 0, right? Now this is the entity type, right? Now in the entity, what we want to do, like entity filter. Entity filter means based on that filter the entities will get automatically created. Okay, let me show you with one example. Entity filter means okay, let me show you. So one let's just discuss about what is entity cost. Once you create the entity type and it's filtered, then there will be one related link appear as below. Click on that link, so the entity will automatically created and available in the entity related list on entity type form. Okay, so okay, so filter now, right? In the filter entity class, suppose we want here we need uh, to do for CMDB data. Okay, suppose your data are based on application, or it might be some different. Right now I'm doing for application, you can try for other also. Okay, default owner, like who will be the owner of this. So default owner, here a default owner means suppose here is the source field for owner. Okay, source field for owner. So here once we fill this default owner, so when um, the owner is empty for this, okay, default owner is this, right? Application is this, use owner field, source field for owner. Okay, auto update owner, empty owner, use default one. When no owner is uh, in the source field for owner, then the default owner will be automatically assigned there. Okay, as of now leave it as simple. Filter condition means on, like see, here we have selected the entity classes application. So in the CMDB there is a class application. Okay, and under that class there are lots of CIs available, right? So we want those application data. Okay, so we can select table name, which table you want, so where all application data and other things are available. So CMDB underscore CI. I think we need to select some Base table, just CMDB CI is the base table, right? Configurational item. CMDB CI, okay. Now filter will be here. 3, 6, 8, 9 records are matches in this table, okay. Now here we will apply some filter so that the record will get less. So let me do where assigned to is assigned to is able tutor, able tutor. Just check. Still it is showing. Just refresh it. Now one record is matches that condition, okay. So it is quite easy for us to understand, right? Now entity class is application if we are selecting. So I think the following mandatory field are not filled in the entity class, okay. So it has been filled now. I'll just save it. Okay, so this has been saved now. So entity type and entity filter we have created here. Here in entity there is like empty, right? No entity is here. So what will happen right now that filter has not applied here. So here one link will be available, update entities from filter. So now just click over here. Once you will click over here, then the related entity will get created. Updating entries for this entity type. Updating, okay. Okay. So only one record was there, so one entity has been created. Now one entity has been created. So up to now what we have did, what we did, entity type we have created, we have attached one filter over here, and then click over the related link, and the entity get auto populated. Now what we need to do, okay, so so now one entity type we have, right? So let's move to the next topic. Leave all the things we will understand in the next during the next topic, okay. So don't worry about the other things. Now we are going to create one policy. So how we can create policy? In the navigation, search policies, policies, right? In the risk compliances, here is the policy, right? Click on new. So before moving to the policy creation and all, let's understand what is policy. So a policy can be defined as like it is an internal practice that process must follow. Okay, means one document will be available and that ensure this step must be followed, which are written in the policy. Policy are defined as policy, procedure, standard, plans, checklist, frameworks, and template. There are lots of way to define the policy. Okay. Now let's create one policy. It's the policy type can be anything, but we are creating policy, processes, standard, plan, checklist, framework, template. So we are going to create one policy. Owner can be right now we are mentioning system. I guess that won't be available because for that owner we only have few users because they only have the GRC role. Okay, GRC manager or GRC read or something role must be available. Then only those user can be able to create policy and all. Okay, or manage that policy. Now, policy type is policy. Owning group we can mention GRC risk or GRC risk is there or not. GRC system. Owning group. Okay, leave it. We have mentioned the owning owner, right? So we don't need to mention over here. Okay, leave it. Now, like if the policy have some other parent, right? One policy under that policy, some other policy can be defined. So based on that, we can select the some policies over here, which are in published state that only will be available here. Right now, leave it. Okay, so now that policy always have some valid period, so we can define from which date to which date this policy will be available, and once that day will reach, then you have then this policy will automatically get retired, and we have to again publish if we wish to use those policy again. Okay, now here approval, if we want approval for this policy to approve this policy, then we can select over here. Okay. GRC is basically based on roles and roles only. So each and every time we need to check whether that user have proper roles or not. If anything is not visible for them, so first check whether they have the particular roles or not. Reviewers, if we want that reviewers group, and it is mandatory, so we must it is okay. Contributor, we can select who can contribute, who can edit or delete or make changes to this policy. So we can make some contributor. Policy category we can select over here. Let's suppose application maybe available or not. I'm not sure. Let's check. Policy category vulnerability response as of now here, like for which we are creating. So vulnerability response. Now description make test. Okay. Now here this is the main thing, policy context. Here the proper like policies steps and all the things will be mentioned over here with a proper sign or other things. There are lots of option available, right? With the HTML code we can write, we can mention the logo and each and everything to make our policy in a correct format. Okay, that's policy. Okay, I don't have much content, so I just And in test policy, you can mention, like you can decorate your policy over here. Now just save this form. Once you save this form, so what will happen? Everything, this is in right now draft state. We need one review first, request to review, right? So one request to review. Now this policy has been moved to the reviewers to review it. Okay, DRC document version test policy, right, has been created. Owner is this and this, all the things, history is here. Okay, now we have created on the review state, we have moved, right? But we want some before publishing, we need it, they can check like I have reviewed reviewed is approved. Okay, so they have requested to approve it as we have reviewed and everything is correct. So one um this one like able tutor will receive the approval, right? Now they can approve it from here, or I think, okay, yeah, they can approve it. Once they approve, so it will move to the published state. Now this this policy is available to be in used. Okay, now so we have created here the policy. Huh. There are few things I have moved to tell you, like control objective can be added in the draft state of the policy only. Okay, like when we are the, the policy is in draft, so we can create the control objective. Okay, and the rest of thing we can add in the published state. Now it is in published state, so we cannot add the control objective here. No new button is there, right? But like entity type and the things we can add in the published state only. Okay, so let me just retire it and republish it, make it in draft state again. Okay, so retired, right? Owner is able tutor, so able tutor can only, so let me impersonate with policies. Name was text, right? This one is Retired one. Okay. Back to draft. Only ability. The owner of this form can move it to the draft state. Okay. So it is in now draft state. Sorry guys. Ah, what I told you, entity type will be available to be added in the published state only. Okay. But control objective we can create in the draft state only. So let's just create one control objective. Okay. Source will be how manually created or ad hoc. Source ID will be based on that. Reference we can mention over here. Parent we can mention if the or control objective have some parent. Okay. Category can be like we can mention over here. Application classification we can mention over here. Protect preventing corrective response. These are the things. Type we can mention here. Communicate. Okay. Communicate, leave it attestation. Okay, so grc attestation, one grc attestation will be created. Okay, we will show it later. Here is the group rule, issue group rule. Based on that rule the issue will be created. Okay, now just save this form. So one control objective has been created, right? Once the control objective has been created, so what we need to do, once you create the control objective, so here now you need to add one entity type in the related list of this form. Okay, so let's just add the entity type. Okay, so we cannot add because okay, active is false. Okay, yeah, so now we can add it. Previously we have created the entity, right? That was test entity. Next entity type. Okay, so we have created to save it. Once you save the entity type, so how much entity was one entity, so based on that one like control will be created. Okay, like if there like in the entity type if 5 or 10 entities are there in the related list, so that count will be appear here. Here only one, because the one entity was there. If 5, then here the 5 control will be created. Okay, means once you add them like the entity type, then automatically based on entity count the exact number of control get created. Total count of control is related to the compliance score. If all control is in draft means 0, and if all move to the non-compliance, compliance or avoid means 100. Okay, I will show you. Means total count of control, compliance score will be available here. Let's refresh this page. Only one, means total is in draft state, right? So it is 0. We either need to make it in non-compliant, like we need to change the status. Okay, so we will change the status of the control first, then that. Okay, so what it is, like it is a control test control objective. Okay, entity, based on that entity is here, right? for that entity this control is created. All the things are get auto populated. Frequency, how it can be created annually, weekly, or something. So now attestation is GRC attestation we have selected. System administrator is the respondent for that. Okay. Now to move to the next state, at that is attest state, right? Click on the attest button. Now one attestation has been created. How we can check in the attestation? Click on here. No, I think one attestation has been created with the system administrator. So let's end the impersonation. Now what we have to do? Attestation, right? Attestation. Under pollution, my attestation we can check. Okay, so here one attestation has been created. Now to make it close, click over here the take assessment. In the take assessment, here you have to keep in your mind, like here is three options: yes, no, and not applicable. If you are selecting yes, means you have to attach evidence for it, means it is compliance. Okay. If you are selecting no, means you have to explain and the state will be changed to non-compliance. And if you are clicking non-applicable, then not applicable status will be available. I will show you one by one. Let's click over here yes and attach the attachment. Okay, so once you attach the attachment, explain something about that. Okay, and then submit it. So remember one thing, you have selected over here yes and you have attached the attachment. Now open the policy. Okay, in the draft state what we had objective we have created. In the objective we have attached the entity type, and based on that entity count the control has been automatically created. Now we need to solve this control first, so we have clicked on the attest. So one attachment previously we have submitted, so automatically it moved to the review state. Now as it is moved to the review state, so in the related link, that attestation has been attached over here. One more thing that I need to show you here, attestation has been completed. Now we can either move it to monitor state or we cannot. Sometimes the monitor is not visible because we are not the owner. So in that scenario, the monitor will be not available, but we can leave it. Just move to the previous. Previously, we have checked that control has the state draft only. Okay, see the 100% compliance is 100%. Why? Because all the control has been solved and with the status compliance. Okay, you see, compliant, right? Compliant status, right? Let me click to create one new control. So NTP was test. Okay, no entity is there. Just select any one of them. Okay, then attestation GRC, and let me make available system administrator. Now once this control has been saved, so we will move it to attest, created attestation, right? Attestation. Now take assessment. You remember, right? Previously we have selected yes. Now we are selecting no. Okay. Not applicable is same as yes, means it is not applicable, and there is no effect for selecting not applicable, but there is a effect for no. I explain here explanation. Okay, once you submit the here now open your policy. Okay. See, as you have created control objective, it must be okay. So attest is here. Now what we need to return to draft, retire, review. Why? Because the owner is asset manager. Okay, log in with that asset manager. Then that manager can only make changes to that form, right? Okay, the global. Let's just search with the S2. Okay, this end impersonate, I think that don't have the proper role. So let's just end impersonate here. Policies. Here it is 100, right? Because the status is not mentioned here, the non-compliance for the control we have created, right? Now let me just move to that control objective and then to that control what we have created. Okay, so this is that control. Status is not anything, so what you need to change here, instead of asset manager, just change engine to system administrator. Let's just update it. So artist is there. Attestation has been completed. I'm not sure why, like, they might be related to the role. This problem is happening because we are not going to move into the review state, right? Once this completed, okay, got it. So there has been two attestation has been created because previously uh, system administrator 2 was there, right? So right now that has been not completed. We can check the attestation. All attestation. So for that user, what attestation has been like received, okay, for that user. Now what you need to check, like I have assigned to myself. Attestation received. Okay. Let us this page. Let me check. So there is some issue with that attestation things. Is retire date, okay. Draft. Now, system and only one is there, so move it to attest state. Created one attestation. Previously, it was two attestation, and one I have approved, but another one I missed. So let me just approve this attestation. My attestation. Approve this approval. Take assessment. Here we want. Well, previously we have given yes. Now I'm giving no. So that we affect the overall score. Let me show you how. Okay, this has been happened. Now move to the policy. Policies, okay. Our policy name was text. This one, okay. Okay. Objective. In the objective, there is two control. One is non-compliant, right? One is non-compliant. Completed. So here is the problem. We cannot keep any cyst as a non-compliant. So we need to figure it out. Like by giving anything or like here one issue has been created. We can solve this issue. Once the issue has been solved, here remediate or accept. Like we are going to remediate it so that the problem is fixed and now it won't be happen, or we are going to accept this risk. So based on that, so we are right now we are going to remediate it. Mental GRC, okay. So this has been out to the okay. Okay. Now the state must have been changed from C, that is 50%, right? Both have been made compliant, right? So now it is moved to the 50% score. Previously, so this is all about how control. Okay, no, the control objective has been created now. Okay, and it has been control objective has been created now. Go to the policy and request for the review. Then the next awaiting approval, we can request for the approval. Once approved, then it will move to the public state as we did in the previously. And in the public state, we can add here the entity type. Okay. So this is all about the policy. Once the policy is in public state, then it will be available to be used. we move to the public stage. Now we can retire. It will be retire on this valid up to this. Then we can move it to again into the draft state. So this is all about the policy. I think the session will be more longer. Okay. So I need to stop over here. You guys can practice on these things, how to create entity, how to create policy, how to create control, objective control and manage them, okay, attestation, these things, and the rest of the things we will discuss in the next session. And in the next session we will start from the risk management. Okay. Okay. So guys, we can stop the session for today. Thanks everyone. Hope you like my today's session. We will meet soon with some more use cases in our next session. Okay. Bye guys. Thank you.